Hello everybody and welcome back to MissildineOnline. In the last episode of Pokemon FireRed, we completed Lavender Tower. In this episode, we are going to pursue Silent Bridge. Silence Bridge. It is the route south of Lavender Town, Route 12, and it will lead us to the next areas that we have to go. So we are going to put Chew out front. An electric type is super important in this area. As you can see, north to Lavender Town. This is a very trainer-heavy episode, so it's all going to be sped up because there's a lot of Pokemon that we've already seen before, all water types. We are going to be using our Pikachu just to zappity all of these Pokemon. I mean, like, as you can see, a Goldeen, like, there's no point. I accidentally used Brick Break and then Quick Attack a couple times because I'm so smart. Level 35. So we are going to see Chew get to about level 42, I believe, in this video, simply because I wanted one Pokemon to gain this experience and not spread it out because I don't want to get too powerful overall. So as you can see, we are literally just gonna one-shot most of these with Thunderbolts. There we go, we got rid of a Fisherman, and we will get over 500 Pokedollars for winning that. Here's another fight against Fisherman Chip. We will go ahead and use a Thunderbolt against a Tentacool, which is a Water Poison type, and again a Goldeen, which we have seen all the way since Cerulean City. These were one of the Pokemon that Misty had in her party. Not Misty, the person that we fought that was next to Misty. We can also go down and talk to this guy who has the best line in the entire game, the Fishing Fool versus the Pokemon Kid. And we will just go ahead and take down his level 27 Goldeen with a big old Thunderbolt to the face, and we get 972 Pokedollars for winning. We can also use our item finder right here to find an item, which we will see in 1 second is a Hyper Potion. That restores 200 health, worth getting. We can buy these pretty shortly. We can actually just straight up purchase these, which is worth it. Here we have a Poliwag. Again, we're just going to take it down with a Thunderbolt. You're going to see a very common theme where we just take a lot of these Pokemon down with Thunderbolt. Shelder we've seen on SS, and none of these Pokemon are new whatsoever. There is a few new Pokemon that we can encounter in these routes. Now, I accidentally messed up when I did the bios, because all of this is obviously post-commentary. Horsey, I love Horsey. We screwed up most of the bios, and I didn't actually put the specific route, although I can help that out as we go along. So we are just going to continue down here, and there is another trainer. This is a double battle. We're going to throw out, they have a Nidoran and Nidoran. We're just going to throw out Chew and Topher, our Nidoking and Pikachu. He's going to go ahead and use Thrash, even though, whatever. That Thunderbolt should take down a Nidoran. Of course it does, no problem. And Thrash should take down this Nidoran as well. Gia and Jess are defeated. Now we are going to proceed here to Snorlax. So this big hunk of junk that's blocking our way, and the reason we needed a Poke-Flute just to advance in this game, is number 143 in the Pokedex, Snorlax. If you have played any Pokemon game, maybe you haven't even played Pokemon, maybe you just heard of Pokemon once upon a time, you know who Snorlax is. I consider him a pseudo-legendary. He is a pseudo-legendary, I think, normal-type Pokemon. There is only 2 available in this entire game, one here and one on Cycling Road, which you will see in the other episode, or you are seeing it right now, depending on which episode you are watching. Snorlax is an incredible normal type Pokemon with a health stat of 160, a huge massive attack stat of 110, a special defense stat of 110, very low speed, and its defense is a mere 65, meaning you can hit this thing pretty hard with some fighting type attacks and it will die super easily. However, Snorlax is a very good wall for everything that isn't fighting. If you don't have a good, solid, normal type tank, or just a tank in general on your team, you can definitely pick up a Snorlax. I also highly recommend getting one with the Thick Fat ability, which cuts fire and ice damage by 50%. I highly recommend Thick Fat over immunity. So, go ahead and get a Snorlax. Snorlax is really cool. So we are going to go ahead and use the Poke-Flute, which of course we picked up from the Pokemon Tower, Mr. Fuji. The reason we did this is because we couldn't get past this big old Tubbalard. Snorlax woke up and attacked in a grumpy rage. That's how I feel when I wake up every day. Snorlax, level 30. We will be able to capture this. I can't even believe I didn't speed this up. I didn't edit this at all, just because this went so well. So we went right off the bat. Used a Thunder Wave, so he's going to be paralyzed. We got lucky and we got some hacks. Now I wanted to see how much Thunderbolt would actually do against him. With that special attack stat though, nothing. Now, here's the importance of having Brick Break on Pikachu. Watch how much damage this Brick Break does against a Snorlax. More than our Thunderbolt. So that's why it's worth having a fighting attack, especially against something like Snorlax. Look at that, we brought him down, right? He's gonna use Snore, but it's failing because he's not resting. Ready? Look at my balls. Look at my balls. I only have one Great Ball. One Great Ball. This went so well. I couldn't even believe it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Snorlax is ours. Gotcha. Snorlax was caught. I absolutely love it. Snorlax data was added to the Pokedex. It's a mountain Pokemon. It is not satisfied unless it eats over 880 pounds of food every day. Want to give a nickname? Yeah, let's give a nickname to this Snorlax. So we have Freezing Factor as our rival, and I think it's just appropriate. It's just appropriate to have a Snorlax named Goose. Goose doesn't even watch these videos, so that's what's funny about it. And right there, if you use the item finder, which I highly recommend, you can pick up 1 leftovers from deep in the ground. Leftovers, it's a hold item that you can give to a Pokemon, and it will restore a little bit of their health every turn. No, I was just showing you that leads to Route 11, which leads to Vermilion City, where we fought Lieutenant Surge. So right down here is a super important item that I highly recommend that you grab. I'm the fishing guru's younger brother. Tell me, do you like to fish? Yes, Grant, I like your style. I think we can be friends. We will receive the Super Rod. The Super Rod is going to give us access to so many good water-type Pokemon. Now, I have a request. If you catch a big Magikarp, it's not a request. It doesn't actually do anything. When I was younger, the old games said the same thing. I searched forever. So I ended up using the Super Rod just because I was curious what we can find in this route. I'm actually going to wait to go over those Pokemon, though. So right here, we will find an Electric-type trainer who has a Voltorb and Electrode. We'll just take them out, no problem. Easy peasy, Rocker Luca was taken down. We got about 700 Pokedollars for doing that. It's weird that there's an Electric type here, but hey, it makes sense, right? Right here, we can grab an item, so we're going to use Meowth to cut that down, and we are going to take out this Camper Justin, who just has a Nidoran and stuff like that. So like I was saying, the Good Rod we will get later, actually, so you can get the Super Rod before you can get the Good Rod. And basically, I'll be going over all the Pokemon that you can find with the Good Rod and Super Rod at a later date. Right there, we can pick up an Iron, and we can catch this guy off guard and face Fisherman Andrew, who has a Magikarp. Not just one Magikarp, but a lot of Magikarps. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? That's wild. It's wild. So this is another area that we can find an item. If we just come on, here it is. Where? Ah, there we go. We got a rare candy. Always worth getting. So there are some new Pokemon that we can find there, and I'll actually go into their bios a little bit later, but it is worth mentioning that the Pokemon that you can find there are Venonat, Gloom, and Weeping Bell. I go over their bios in a little bit later. I just didn't put it right here because I didn't want to break up the video too much. I wanted to kind of put the bios in chunks, because we just did a bio. Right here, we will start encountering bird-type Pokemon. Flying-type Pokemon, not birds. Even though he says bird-type Pokemon. Isn't it really interesting that Electric-type pretty much sweeps Silent Bridge? You have a ton of water types, and then you have a ton of flying types. This is the perfect place to train an Electric-type up if you have one. So I highly recommend doing this with an Electric type. Right here, we will face Picnicker Susie would like to battle. She's going to send out a Pidgey. I'm gonna try to go through this one as fast as I possibly can because she has 5 Pokemon, which is just an absurd amount of Pokemon for any weak-ass trainer to have. We get 282 experience. She's going to send out a Meowth. Lucky for us, we have Brick Break. It's a normal type Pokemon. Literally, Pikachu does so well in this area. I was curious how much Thunderbolt would do, and it does one-shot Meowth regardless, so I didn't mean to do that because I want to save my Thunderbolts for flying types. As you can see, we'll use Brick Break against this Pikachu, killed him in one shot. Although we got paralyzed, he's going to send out a Meowth. We'll be able to use Brick Break, take him down. Level 38 already, and we defeat her and get about 500 Pokedollars for winning. Now we can continue on. I actually cut away and went back to the Pokemon Center in Lavender Town so I could heal up. As you can see, mostly because we ran out of PP. So we couldn't really do that as easily. Right here is another double battle. It's not a double battle, even though when I was recording this, I thought it was a double battle. It's actually just a bunch of 2,000. We got over 2,000 Pokedollars, but they have a lot of normal types. Luckily for us, Pikachu has Brick Break. Again, this is one of the many reasons why I highly recommend getting Brick Break on your Pikachu if you have one. Yeah. I highly recommend it. Right there, we just used a Paralyzed Cure just so that Pikachu isn't hurting too bad. We can take down that Pidgey with a big old Thunderbolt to the face. Take down all of these Pidgey. It's just so many damn Pidgeys. And a Pidgeotto! That's another Pokemon that you can find in this area, by the way, is Pidgeotto. So in this area, we can also find a Pidgeotto and a Ditto. Again, we'll be going over all of the stats a little bit later. Right there, we got a PP up. Always worth grabbing. I kind of, like I said, I combined all of the bios into one part. I do apologize for that. You can get Gloom and Weeping Bell, Gloom for Fire Red, Weeping Bell for Leaf Green. Right here we can fight another flying trainer. Again, this is like, I know you guys, whoever was here for the beginning episode said to show every trainer, so that's what we're doing. It makes the series a little bit longer and obviously overpowers us hardcore. Right there is our first Fearow that we've ever seen in the game so far, I believe. The first that we've fought for sure. Fearow is the evolved form of Spearow. Not a huge deal, not a super powerful poke or anything like that, but it you know, it's there. It's at least in our Pokedex now, or at least we've seen it. This guy also has 5 Pokemon. It's redonkulous, absolutely redonkulous. So we'll be able to take down all of these pokes, no problemo. We can just take a nap, you know what I mean? While we just go over here. There's no items over here at all. I was hoping there would be. There isn't. We're going to go ahead and use our... What are we using here? We are going to use an Ether so that we can get Thunderbolt back up because obviously this is a flying trainer. Most of these guys are. As you can see, their level is 28, and around 28-30 is what these pokes usually are at. So this is a reasonable training area. I actually don't know when you're supposed to tackle Silent Bridge. I don't know if it's before or after Fuchsia City, which is our final destination here, is where we're heading. For those of you who don't know or maybe are interested, at the same time that this video is going up, there should also be another video that is Cycling Road. So there are 2 different ways to get to Fuchsia. There is this way down Silent Bridge, Route 12 area, Route 12, 13, 14, 15, or there is Route 17 and 18, which is Cycling Road, but you have to have a bike for it. We'll be showing all of those areas. Right here, Pikachu at level 41 can learn Thunder. Thunder is a 120 base power attack, making it super incredibly powerful. However, it is 70 accuracy, which just isn't concrete enough for that. So unfortunately, we did lose our dear old Pikachu. So we're just going to send in our Luna, who hasn't seen combat very much. I am going to use a revive on Chew just because I really want Chew to be the one to soak experience here. I don't want my party to get too powerful, and we won't be using Chew too often in the future. Right here, we can take an item from Meowth. He has a Person Berry. Obviously, it's so worth having a Meowth just for... We've gotten so many passive items here. I'm out of Thunderbolt, which sucks. I should have used an Ether. I didn't do that. We should be able to take down this Fearow, no problem, which we were able to do. And there is an item down in this patch of grass. There's also a rare, not a rare Pokemon, but a Pokemon that you can find for the first time here, Ditto. So we will go ahead and take down a Farfetch. I think that's the first time we fought a Farfetch. It was level 33, and we were able to destroy it with our 41 Pikachu. I'm just going to switch out Luna here, because Luna hasn't seen any combat in a long time. And, I don't want the fights to take too long. Look at that. Luna hit level 35. Not a big deal. Some of you have been asking why Luna and Pikachu haven't evolved yet, why I haven't used a stone on them, and the reasons for that is simply because they learn moves at different levels. These guys are all bikers. As you will soon find out, bikers tend to have poison-type Pokemon, such as Coughing and Muck, or Grimer, Coughing and Grimer. Right here we can find another item that is a Zinc, and let's jump into it. Now there are some new Pokemon that we can find on this route, but all of the new Pokemon, for the most part, tend to be evolved forms of Pokemon that we've already seen, and that remains true with number 17, Pidgeotto. Now, we have seen Pidgey many times in the past, and we have actually already evolved our Pidgey to be a Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto, the same rules apply. It's a decent normal flying type. I just think there are better in the game. It's a little tankier, but with being a normal and a flying type, it's just not going to be able to withstand many hits. It's also just not quite tanky enough. But if you really like Pidgeotto, this is a good chance to grab one, because at level 36, it evolves into a Pidgeot. And speaking of Pokemon that we've already talked about, number 44 in the Pokedex is Gloom. It has a 5% encounter rate here on this route, and is only encountered in FireRed, just like Oddish. It is, of course, the evolved form of Oddish, although if you pick up a Gloom right now, you can immediately evolve it with a Leaf Stone to a Vileplume. Again, super defensive, pretty high special attack. The stats that you're seeing on screen right now are actually the final evolution of Vileplume's stats, not Gloom's. Imagine that. That would be huge. If you are running Sunny Day by any chance on your team, again, Gloom is a wonderful addition. On that note, there is Weeping Bell, number 70 in the Pokedex, the evolved form of Bellsprout for all you Leaf Green users, you lucky ducks you. Its evolved form, Victory Bell, I consider to be much, much better than Vileplume. It is a special attacker. As you can see, those final evolution stats are through the roof. 105 attack and 100 special attack with a base speed of 70 isn't terrible. Especially, again, if you have Sunny Day, this thing is going to double its speed and be 140 speed. This thing is nasty. One of the best grass poison types in the entire game. So if you want a Victory Bell, pick up a Weeping Bell here. And here we go, one of the last evolving bug-type Pokemon in the entire game. That is number 48 in the Pokedex, Venonat. Now this thing has monstrous stats once fully evolved. For a bug. Once fully evolved, its special attack jumps up to 90, its speed jumps up to 90, its health is at a reasonable 70. This is not a terrible bug poison type bug Pokemon that I would recommend if you really like it. I think it's also kind of interesting that Venonat looks a lot like Butterfree. I wonder. And the one brand new Pokemon that there's no way you could have him before this unless you traded is 132 Ditto. Ditto is a novelty. Let's just put it that way. Ditto is a novelty. Look at those stats. 48, 48, 48, 48, 48, 48. Just 48 straight down the line. This Pokemon can transform into any other Pokemon that you're fighting. However, keep in mind that it keeps those stats. So, say it turns into a Nidoking, it's gonna have those stats. It sucks. It's a terrible, terrible Pokemon. You could use it if you want to be cheesy and like employ the right techniques, I suppose, but most Pokemon, I guess, usually carry a move that is also super effective against them, because you also copy their move pool. That's worth mentioning. I just don't. It also, if we want to get a little nerdy about Ditto might be a failed experiment. It might be trying to clone Mew, the Pokemon. Mew has a base stat of this, I think it's 100 in every single stat. Ditto has a base stat of 48. Pink. And let's just continue on. So this is all going to be incredibly sped up because there's just so many damn poison types here, and it's pretty much the same Pokemon. Now I am using Vaporeon or Poseidon here because both Chew and Luna are fainted right now. And I don't really want to go to a Pokemon Center because I would rather just try to get through this area as quickly as we can by battling all of these trainers. We're not going to gain that much experience on our Poseidon, so it's not a huge deal. Even Poseidon is going to go down here, so we're going to have to switch to our dear old Bahamut, simply because Muck is actually just a super strong, tanky Pokemon who is able to pretty much demolish our poor Poseidon. So right here is a double battle that we can get into against a Squirtle and a Charmander. Luckily for us, we have a Charizard and a Pikachu. We will be able to attack, and unluckily for us, Pikachu does not have access to his electric type move, so it took a little bit longer than it should have. Right here is Route 15. The Pokemon that you can find here are pretty much the Pokemon that exist at the same time. Ditto is pretty much still encountered in this area, so if you haven't picked one up yet, you can pick one up on this route. Right here, we can go ahead and battle her. Now, it's worth mentioning that you didn't even notice, but I went to the Pokemon Center and I healed up real quick. We're going to go ahead and get lost in our bag, and then we are going to go ahead, grab the item from Payday or Meowth, and go ahead and put Chew back in front because we have some more flying type Pokemon to take care of here, which we will. Look at that. This guy's got all of the cool flying type Pokemon except for that Pidgey there. That was lame. And this guy also has a Dodrio. That was the first time that we've ever seen that's the evolved form of Doduo. One of my favorite normal flying type Pokemon in the entire game, as I've mentioned before. One that I was actually going to get for this. I don't know why I used Thunderbolt numerous times on this Gloom. That was really, really stupid of me. But this Oddish is going to take us out. kind of. We're just gonna switch to Bahamut because she has all water, grass type Pokemon, and we just want to get rid of those mofos right now when we can. Right here, we will go ahead and take down this beauty who has a Bulbasaur, Bulba, and an Ivysaur, Sword. I don't know if that's Ivy's. I don't remember. 2,000. We got over 2,000 Pokedollars for that. These beauties are really, really great to fight, especially if you have an amulet coin equipped, which we don't have yet, but we will be getting in technically the next episode, which is Cycling Road. We have 6 health on Pikachu. It is time to use a damn potion, let me tell you. We're just going to go ahead and use a hyper potion just because, why not? It's not a big deal. Money isn't really a concern for us because of the Nugget Bridge Trick. We are already level 43 on Pikachu. Ooh, I love Weezing. Weezing's such a cool looking Pokemon. There we go. We took down Weezing. And got 1,000 experience for it and took down Biker Alex. That's what you get, Alex. And again, we'll just take down all of these Coughings and a big old Weezing. No problemo whatsoever. Another Coughing. It's just annoying how many Pokemon they actually have because they're all weak Pokemon. We're just going to go ahead and use a Max Ether so that we can have access to our Thunderbolt so that we can take out these Poison types a little bit quicker. Obviously, we don't have any Psychic type Pokemon to be able to take advantage of the Poison type weakness. And we also don't have any Ground type attacks to really use. Pikachu against Pikachu. We won handily because we are level 43. About to be level 44 if we can take down this Raichu, which we were able to do no problem. So we hit level 44, which is pretty damn huge on a Pikachu. Then we can take down these guys. This is a double battle. One of the coolest ones, I think, in the game. That's Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, which we have not seen before. We are going to go ahead and use a Rock Slide, which was stupid of me, and a Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is going to bring Hitmonlee to half. And I shouldn't have used Rock Slide. I wasn't even thinking. Fighting is obviously strong against Rock, so not the best thing to use. And he used Ice Punch against us, so he hit us with a super effective. I'm just going to go ahead and use Peck, because Peck is a flying type move, super effective against flying. So this Peck should take down this Hitmonlee, and it does. Absolutely no problem whatsoever. Good job, Topher. Good job, Chew and Topher. You did so well. You did so well. And there we go. So those guys are one of my favorite double battles in the game. And level 33 Clefairy. Well, let's just break it right in the face. That should kill it because Pikachu is a monster at this point. Absolute monster. And we got 660 Pokedollars for winning. Now, right through here is a really fantastic item that I highly recommend grabbing. Hi, remember me? I'm one of Professor Oak's aides. If your Pokedex has 50 species, I'm going to give you a reward. And let me ask you, have you gathered data on at least 50 kinds? We have caught or owned 58, and we will receive the experience share. Basically, we can give that to a Pokemon, and they will share the experience points without even needing to battle. This is going to make filling your Pokedex so much easier. You'll see. You'll see. And here we are in Fuchsia City. We go through a little bit of Route 15 and we arrive here in Fuchsia City. Check out the other episode, which is Cycling Road. After that, we will explore Fuchsia City and the Safari Zone. Thank you all very much for watching. I love you all. Remember, never give up, never surrender.